It is January 1937, and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics is beginning to be concerned about the state of affairs. In Europe, rising from the ashes is the ascendant state of Germany. In the previous season, they annexed Austria to form the Greater German State, and this season they have annexed Slovakia, which is perilously close to the sphere of influence of the Soviet republics. It is not very far from the former borders or the ambitious borders of the Soviet nations, and it is well within their sphere of interest. The French also seem to be concerned as they begin to gather their forces and move their military across France to form up strong points in Normandy and Paris and a few forces behind the Maginot Line, perhaps with anticipation of another great war where the lines of war were drawn roughly in these positions. The French fleet is also on the move just in the Dogger Bank in anticipation of blocking off any German aggression along its coastline. The British also have begun to maneuver their fleets, blocking off the English Channel and stacking up some of their forces into southern England. Things are looking interesting on the Western Front. The Nationalists have made their move and captured eastern Andalusia from the Republicans, and the Republicans intend to respond in kind and attempt to recapture that state. The Italians have stacked up their forces in the middle of the Mediterranean. Their fleet has gathered in anticipation of some greater movements. The Italians have also captured Abyssinia from the Ethiopians and now have established it as part of their colonies of East Africa. Now, in the further east, we are concerned by the state of affairs in the Eastern Front as the Japanese forces have gathered their strength along our shared borders. Will a greater war break out along this border, or will it devolve to just simply clashes? The Far East Command of the Allied forces, they seem to be doing quite well for themselves as they begin to stack up some forces in Calcutta and gathers their strength into Sydney and its adjacent territories. Things are looking interesting, and although things are still quite quiet and the sound of war is still far away, there begins to be little tremors in the earth. Hello everybody, my name is Jinx, and welcome to turn number 2 of Operation, what do we call it? Montagnard. Montagnard. Kind of a bit of a pronunciation there. It's a French pronunciation. I looked into the history last night, but it kind of fails me at the moment. But it is a mountainous region somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. Some sort of action going on. It's an interesting name. Montagnard. Anyways, Operation Montagnard, and we are playing as the Soviets and the Comintern. Let's start with the CCP. They have $5 to spend. We're going to get 1 infantry and do an influence roll for 2. The USSR is going to spend for lend-lease to the Republicans an anti-aircraft gun, and that's about the equivalent cost, $4. So let's start with these fellas over here. We're not going to do any combat action. We're simply going to march some dudes into Szechwan, and 3 of these guys from Biping over to Hopei, and that's about it. So we're going to do a little alignment roll here. I'm gonna get this dice tower up because I always like having a dice tower. I always feel like the dice can do some funny things when they're up in the air. So I'm gonna roll for 1, 2, 3, 4. So I spent $2, and for Qinghai is where we're influencing. So we have 2 adjacent areas, so $2. So that means a roll of 4 or less, if memory serves. Let's see, 4 or less. That is a 2. So we succeeded on our dice roll. And now let's roll for recruitment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 or less. Hey-oh, success so far altogether by the CCP. We're pretty happy about that. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to put our dude here. We're going to copy this guy here. The CCP so far are on a roll. Absolute beasts. Well done, CCP. Of course, our luck is bound to at some point fail us, but overall, we're doing quite well so far. Okay, I'll switch out this cavalry, and then we're going to move on to looking at the Republicans and seeing what mischief they can get up to, and hopefully our luck continues to hold. All right. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we put our infantry on the board. So we got $5 again to spend on the subsequent turn. Okay. Nice. So that means if the Japanese do attack, then these 2 territories, we get a roll for them as well. If we hadn't attacked this, and these 2 territories would automatically go KMT. In this case, there's a chance that it'll go our direction. Let's move our dice tower over to the Republicans as we got some little bit of action over here as well. And we have this little attack going in. So I think I'm going to just pull some dice. You know what? Maybe I'll just do this the professional way. Can we do that? Or is that going to mess people up too much? Yeah. All right, there we go. This is all what's going into that territory. 1 cavalry, 1 infantry, and 1 mountain infantry. So that's going to be 1. This guy's going to be at 2. Cavalry's going to be at 2. And we have the medium bomber at 7 and fighter at 6. 2 cavalry from the enemy at 2. 1 infantry at 4. I feel like I forgot 1 unit here. Yeah, here it is. Mountain infantry at a 5. So they're going to do nicely for themselves, rolling some pretty high numbers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's my recruitment dice. 4, 5. Okay, so this is color matching what we have there. Let's roll these dice. Hit, hit, miss. So 2 hits and a miss. All right, that was good. We had on our average were 16 pips or 18 pips, so it would have been 1.5 hits. Now these guys have 13 pips, so the average here is going to be 1 hit, or rounded average. So yeah, 1 hit right here. So works out good. So we take off 2 of their cavalry. Yeah, they rolled a 2, 10, 10, and 12. And then we take off 1 of our cavalries. Nope, sorry, make that an infantry. That makes the most sense. So we're going to take off this one off the board. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, rolling for the second round of combat. Is that right? Yeah. One hit. Just 1 hit, and our aircraft missed it. And over here, let's see what they roll. They should have 1 hit this round. No hits for them. Okay, shame. Alright, now we're going to our last round. No hits for us. Now this is where they may punish us. Well, not really punish. I think it's a little on the too late side. A 6 missed. Sorry, I do feel, you know, get 1 hit on our end. And let's see what they end up rolling. 6 again. See, that's why I like a dice tower, because sometimes it looks like if it was 6 last time, 6 this time makes me do it. But, you know, I try to hit the R as it's spinning in the air as well. That doesn't seem to do as much as I'd like. Okay, so we took 1 casualty, and they took 4, so they definitely got hit pretty badly on that one. So, sorry. I wish I would have rolled better on your behalf. There we go. Put our boys back on the board. Mountain infantry. Cavalry. And we're going to put our air forces into Catalonia. Bit of a risk, I know, but we're going to do that. Seeing as we got this one. Okay. Oh yeah, this guy's going to come down here and attack this transport. Should be just a wipeout. And now we put our guy on the board. Our Republican anti-aircraft gun. There we have it. And now we do recruitment. So, let's see what that result is. Drop it down the hatch. Let's zoom in. A 3. Success. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we needed 6 or less. We are going to go for a militia. You know what? 2 militia. That's the way it has to be. 2 militia. Okay. So overall, everybody's doing quite well for themselves. The Republicans, I couldn't ask for a better result, as well as the CCP. Overall, everybody's doing quite nice. So it's pretty fantastic stuff. Okie dokie. Yeah, and only losing 1 unit. That's pretty good. All right. Turning our attention to the Soviets and what their movements are. It's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. From the Soviets far east, we're going to move our dudes back to Yakutsk. And this guy's going to go to Buryatia. This motorized is going to zoom via rail all the way across to Uralkursk. And going to be met up here by this guy from Saratov. And then we have 2 infantry marching south. We have 1 guy from Turidia marching to southern Ukraine, and 1 from southern Ukraine to Kiev. A transport plane is going to go to Moscow, and 1 guy from Moscow is going to rail out to Kiev as well. And then we're going to have these 3 infantry from the adjacent areas of Leningrad going to go into Leningrad to form a little bastion of strength. And these guys here from Karelia over to Kola. And then I think lastly we have a bit of fleet maneuvers. Yeah. So we have this guy here in Sea Zone P41 coming to I-42, and this submarine backing off from the Sea of Okhotsk to P3. And I think that takes care of all our movements across the board. Yeah, I'm going to just erase all drawn lines. Nice. Well, that went much better than I expected. I thought well, I thought I'd win this battle, but with 1 unit remaining, and I remained with 2, so that's always a good success. But I do, these are one of those things that when I'm with people where they could roll their own stuff, it's much more pleasant for me, because then if I misroll on their behalf, then I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad, you know. It's way worse this way, but I can't complain whatsoever. I've had pretty grand luck overall with the Republicans, with the CCP. Overall, things are doing quite well. So I'm going to try to do everything possible to eliminate that level of chance. So maybe, well, yeah, I don't mean chance, like in the sense of to eliminate any battles where I will possibly lose my forces. So I'm going to do my very best to only attack. Well, I shouldn't even say this, because once I say it, then other people might put into my strategy of what what I intend on doing. So let me just say that I'm going to do my best to win this thing in every way I can. All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. And now we turn our attention, or turn the game over to the Japanese. Cheers, all.